Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday the 22nd of November. Okay, so it looks, on some of these markets, it looks like Thanksgiving's come a bit early in terms of the slowness of action. Before we start looking at the markets in details, just look at the potential risk events this morning. So let's just clear these out of the way. There we go. So this morning 8:35 we've got the Reserve Bank of Australia Governor speaking there at then thereafter 9 o'clock ECB Financial Stability Review. Don't generally see a lot of movement around that. We've got the autumn budget for the UK at 12:30. Now historically it seems a bit hit and miss on this. If there's stuff in there that's really going to get the economy rolling, we might see a bit more action. But you do wonder if it's just going to be another one of these just balancing acts. Aside of that, core durable goods, I don't know why the US durable goods is highlighted. It should be the US core durable goods. It should be highlighted here as the most important one. That's at 1:30 in the US. And then finally at 3 o'clock we've got some Michigan sentiment data and the Eurozone consumer confidence flash data. Both of those, they're lower ranking than that's on here. Okay, that's that. So nothing significant there kicking through. But let's have a look at what's happening with the markets. Now, yesterday, I can't remember, I put this on in the morning. This is euro dollar. I've popped the Fibonacci on there. I don't often put it on here, but I just put it on with everything else. And it was just showing the sort of potential. It's right bang into a 61.8. On the the dollar index. It's run into a 50% retrace, and I just thought, I wonder if we get any reaction off this. And well, yesterday we did get a bit of reaction off of it. Where it's going to is another matter. I get a feeling it could switch back this morning. We'll see. I'm interested in the euro more, so it would be more interested above its daily pivot. Down here, it's no man's land. And we see so many fake moves at 7 o'clock, then only for 8 o'clock to continue piling down at some stage. So I have got to sit on my hands on this one. It's not clear at all. The pound showing a similar. I mean, it's been pushing up pretty decently. It's roundabouts where it opened last night. It's a solid upward sort of trend there. A bit more of a retrace wouldn't hurt, but again, in fact, this looks even better if it was to start pushing through post 8 o'clock, maybe for its R1, with the pivots as pinched as they are. They're so pinched at the moment. So little movement and really occurring intraday, which is not unusual on a Thanksgiving week. I say the week because it's the Thursday was always the big day. Then there'd be the people would take the Friday off because of Black Friday, and then it's sort of leading into the week. It seems to be a week that some people seem to have now, but it does slow down, so this is not unusual. The dollar yen, well, catching a bounce from where it is at the moment. It's a little bit more aggressive on its bounce here than the likes of the euro. The pound, it's moved more through the Asian session, just running into its R1 though. Again, this could all be changed. It could be just an ABC correction. What would draw me towards this would be a break of the lows here. Break of the trend. Being a bit more interested. Haven't drawn that completely well on there, but I would adjust and look. Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, they've both done similar here. They're both coming off a tad, but just catching a bit of support, it would appear, maybe off some of those higher time frame pivots. The Australian dollar's been sitting all around its yearly pivot, quarterly pivot, and my pivot. my level that I drew on this a long time ago, and it seems there's a couple of markets. The pound I've got one on, and the Australian dollar. It was just price levels. They kept on repeatedly came up over, touched the underneath, over the top of it, found support, resistance, and it's an ongoing palaver. It's the 0.656 area on here. Anyway, for now, it's looking like it could be in the short term pushing up again, but as I said, you can't count too much into this 7 o'clock candle. They often reverse again when we get towards 8, or if not 8, 9. US dollar CAD, it's finally seen a bit of CAD strengthening, but it's still I've drawn different trend lines on here, but you can just see it's, for me, it's untradeable at the moment. But more just to show you it's untradeable. It did actually break the tighter range yesterday, only for it to come back the other side of it. Now, a very unreliable trading pattern that was pointed there. If you're looking at pennants, I was going to say, but patterns. But if you're a pattern trader, it's got around about 50% chance of winning. And you see a lot of this sort of break to the outside, and then it runs through to the other side. So unreliable. New Zealand dollar, as I said, very much like the Aussie here this morning, but in fact slightly weaker looking, but very similar picture. If I switched them over, covered the price up, you wouldn't know which was which. In terms of the price action, lower highs come through here. See what happens. So we get a continuation later, but no trades sitting on any of these at the moment. It's a bit of a story through the Swissy, just sort of continue to consolidate. I mean, it's just you can't even look at the Swissy on that time frame to try and pick a trade, and 4 hourly even pretty much the same. It's just really not going anywhere. Likes the Euro Yen. Well, Euro Yen had been coming off quite solidly, but found some support into one of its yearly pivots here. That's the yearly R2 all the way up there. It's finding support on the top side of now, catching quite a bounce here. Might be interesting to see if it reacts into the weekly pivot. I know it's been through it, but if it reacts into that and starts coming off at some point, it could be interesting, but has put higher lows in. I keep warning about this pair as being don't look for the short all the time, but yep, and over the last few days it's been coming off quite nicely until yesterday, and then it's done this bit of a switch back at the moment, which could continue on through. But it's trouble with some of these, they move through the Asian session, and it's a case of not from here. Let's have a look at the Euro CAD and see if we've got anything coming up on this. This is more what I prefer. It has run into its monthly R2, and it's been finding resistance about it. But look, it's turned around now. The old question is this bear flag or bull flag? We've still got the move pushing up here on this time frame, but in the shorter time frame, it's putting this little bear flag in. For me, if it starts pushing back above that daily pivot, it'll be much more interesting, and I'll be looking to position probably in the next couple of hours to see if I can get a position long on this again. But it has been moving up extremely well. There will be a point where it stalls or rolls back, but it's looking good at the moment. Pound CAD is a similar picture here, so it's just really finding the one that's got the better pattern on at the time. Maybe cable looks, again, cable's just so choppy. At least the Euro's got a bit more action when you compare the two, and the Euro's got a bit more action. It is below its pivot at the moment, whereas cable just looks that little bit. It's also fractionally below, but it's had a little nibble at the top there. It just looks nicer from that perspective. But there you go. There's one of two there to choose from. Whichever starts looking better post 8 o'clock. Okay, I scratching round for other alternatives. I was short on this New Zealand dollar yen. Still sitting there short on this New Zealand dollar yen, but it looks like it's going to stop me out at some point. it's just not playing ball here. It looked like it was going to a few times, and it's run out of the downward momentum basically at this stage anyway. Right, we'll just leave it to sort itself out. On the other markets then, looking through on gold, let's just come up to gold still pushing up. Yesterday pushed up towards the highs there. It's still bullish on this at this stage. Looking well, it's already going this morning again. It's come short of the pivot there, but running up there could be good for the R1. I mean, yesterday we had the retrace came in really about 8-9 o'clock, and it turned around a bit later, but it is, as I say, still looking good for a further upside. Not necessarily from here. It's just it really is a case of catching the timing on that one. Oil, on the other hand, it's been sitting largely towards the downside, but yesterday really just consolidating, and it's gone into its horrible consolidation zone at the moment. So no trades there for the moment. Although, as I said a day or two ago, probably yesterday, we could be on for more. Technically, it looks like it could be on for more upside here. Might get a bit more of a bounce. See how it's reacted to. Okay, equity market, just briefly looking at ES here, then the S&Ps, E-minis, just coming off a tad yesterday, but again we're just seeing this potential little move here. Goodness, could it have tightened, choked any further? We could see this, well, yeah, choke further and just consolidate some more as we move into Thanksgiving. One more day of slowness there. Nasdaq had been trading better, but that came off yesterday and spent most of the day coming off there, consolidated where it's sitting at the moment. But again, you look at the bigger picture, it's still around those prior highs there that we'd seen back in July. So still got a tinge of bullishness. We'll see if they do start rolling. I am a bit skeptical about the upside, but as I said yesterday, technicals have got to show it all. Okay, sorry, I've just about changed markets. It's just have a look for those that are trading the DAX this morning. That is still looking a little bit more bullish. Again, yesterday though, it just flatlined, and it's just looking like it's trying to break out that flat line at the moment, but beware. Buyer beware, as they say. That might all change post 8 o'clock. We'll see. We're just into 8 o'clock now, and it's moving, so perhaps it is going to get a wiggle on. The FTSE cash market just opened. Same thing here. We've suddenly got a little bit of an edge. Now it's been all over the shop. This I've got a regression channel sitting on here that I placed earlier on this week, or late last week. You just see it's just basically staying within its channel largely and coming back, finding support. Short term, well, put a higher low in here, but might get a bit more of a wiggle off it this morning, but the overall picture is not fantastic. Finally, someone mentioned Bitcoin yesterday to me again. I keep looking. They said this should fall down now. It's not falling down, is it? It's bouncing back up. Never ever follow any news and thoughts of there's a bit of excitement coming through there, sellers coming through, but it might roll back. But at the moment, as long as it holds up here, it's got the potential of pushing on through. Right, I'll leave it there. I'll catch you in the morning. Bye for now.